Welcome to Center of Light. Tonight, we're going to be going round and round and round. Round and round. Love will find a way, just give it time. Round and round. Per my sister, beautiful lady, lovely Rena, a week or so ago, she contacts me and says, Keith, how about fashion a presentation around the Highwaymen's song, Highwayman, because it's about reincarnation. And I said, well, that's kind of funny because I have a presentation. When I get these ideas, I write them down. And right here, it says, Reincarnation presentation. As a reminder to me, I set myself alarms all the time. So welcome to Center of Light tonight, everyone. Tonight is Center of Light, Reincarnation. Life is a highway. I want to drive it all night long. I read the lyrics. I've heard the song. It's been many years. It was perfect. If you guys are interested, any one of you are interested in the Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul Experiential Workshop, I sent the information here. Let me know. Send me an email. Title that email, Knock Knock. I know many of you get my meaning. Knock knock. I'm ready to get in. Hello, Pamela. I am Love Cousins. I have been recently having major shifts. This is not about me. It's more about you. I have been recently having major shifts. That means you are next, because there were people before me. And all together in the glory, we go round and round and round. You are a child. Listen to me. Hear me. Listen. Hear me, but listen. You are a child of God. What does that mean? Well, if God is eternal, in you somewhere are fragments in DNA of eternal awesomeness. There's no other way about it. So reincarnation is real, because when we don't complete, refurbish, recycle, redo, reincarnate any energy that is left over, it has to come back to complete itself. Science says for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if you leave this earth, however long it takes, to come back to complete such things. Also in the Bible, it says, you reap what you sow. Maybe you have not sown what you've reaped until you come back again. Recycle. Clean and green, recycle. What comes around goes around. But if you die before you live again, you come back. As above, so below. It's always in a cycle of recycling. God has no hand, truly. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Laura, Pamela, Dana, everyone. Love you all. I didn't leave you out. I just brought you in. Over and over and over. Red Rover, send Keith Blanchard right over. And my puppy dog tail is wagging. So where do you plan to go from here? Where's here? It's here. Notice I didn't ask you where do you plan to go from there. There's never a there. Hello, Katie Camara. Dr. Katie Camara. Katie, I did not share it to the Academy because I didn't want that crosstalk to happen again. So everyone, tonight is Center of Light, Reincarnation. Highwaymen. fantastic song. He's talking about these four beautiful gentlemen, musicians, living their life in a described kind of way, whatever culture or task they were doing when they came to this earth. And they realize, I'm gone. And then they realize, what the I'm back. It's sort of like rebooting your computer. You're a computer. This is the hardware. This is the software. How have you been programmed? Are you constantly rebooting your computer because you got infected by a virus? Hello, Bill Gates, McAfee. You get the joke and the point. Hello, my brother Ted. We come back. We always come back. Every day that you wake up, you have been reincarnated. You have been literally reborn. Science, medical says it takes about 7 years, give or take, for the entire body to have completely exchanged the community, calm, unity of the living creatures, you planet you star system you, that live in your body, to refurbish, recycle, reincarnate over and over again. It's true. It's not only true, it's the truth of it. That's why God has no punishment. God would rather further recycle, reincarnate. What, 3 or 4 of scripture, at least in the Bible, talks about reincarnation. Jesus with, forgive me if I'm wrong, Elijah, Lazarus, whoever. These people who was told of coming back. Not only coming back, you're going forward and you're going deeper inward. You multifaceted, multi-dimensional, beautiful human soul, you. Support Center of Light, gonna be right back, merch to perch. See you in the flip side. Flip side, I will see you in the next life after this chapter of this one. Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight is Center of Light Reincarnation. Life is a highway. For those who are interested in purchasing any of the gifts, thank you, Robert Harrison, my beautiful soul brother. that he's donated to Center of Light, so I can offer these out to you for a donation to keep this heart pumping. I don't need or require that. But if you want to be a part of this, the Lotus Incense burner does come with a package of Nag Chapa Agarbatti incense. It reminds you of your cosmic mother's bosom from incarnations ago. I want to acknowledge my brother David Bettenhausen and Carla, if she's here. If she is, elbow her for me, poke her for me. They are a couple of God knows what. They have had 27, if I'm not mistaken, past lives together as a couple. And I'm sure the male-female flip-flopped quite a few times. David, is this correct, sir? You can go to Center of Light Radio on YouTube and look up David and Carla, Reincarnation, past lives together. You'll find it. If you're curious, send me an email or message me and I'll send it to you. The interview. Carla says hi. Love me some Carla. Hello. So tonight is going round and round and round, round and round. Love will find a way, just give it time. Song by Rat, a band from the 80s. So tonight is Center of Light Reincarnation. I can prove it exists. Every day you wake up, you are anew. Every month, every year, every 10 years. Because you look back from those vantage points and you go, oh my God, I'm not the same person. Is that reincarnation? Or it's an angelic walk-in, because now you're becoming an angel and you're walking into the body that used to belong to an older self. Love it. Beautiful, isn't it? It's a beautiful song that wants to just play itself out to remind us of our eternal nature. Let me look at my notes. So for those who are interested in the workshop, the information has been posted in these forums. Reincarnation is for the purpose of ending incessant, endless though it seems, karmic cycles. Fuck. So, reincarnation is about the ending of karmic cycles. Reap what you sow. You die too soon, you got to be born again to recycle, refurbish your PC. Reincarnate. That way, nothing is of a waste. The universe does not waste energy. It's smarter than that. It turns it within itself so it can ever expand and ever grow into greater and greater and greater and greater degrees of infinity on all possible levels. Isn't that what we want? I want that. I want to be able to turn within myself to the level of infinity and infinities to experience my Lord, my God, which ultimately is yourself, because when you find yourself in the fire of the divine, there is no separation from you and God. And all of your beliefs will be shattered. Does that matter? It matters to me. Here we go. Let me look at my notes once last time. Again, I want to say thank you to Rena. She offered 29 past lives together. I was close, David, by 2. The 2 of you. Rena suggested I do a presentation on reincarnation and use the Highwaymen's song called Highwayman. Unfortunately, I can't play it because I'm going to get a slap on my Facebook, YouTube ass. Can't play it. But what I can do is embellish. No, I can't embellish in such perfection like this. Share my heart. Carla steps into the mix. I love it. David says God's plan from the beginning, if there was such a thing, but we have to take it that way, is divine justice and divine mercy. So let's move into the Highwayman song about reincarnation. I was a highwayman. Tonight is Center of Light Reincarnation. I love it. It must have confused a lot of people while I'm singing, life is a highway, and it has nothing to do with the highwaymen, but I'm putting it all together right here, right now. Tonight is Center of Light Reincarnation. Life is a highway, from the song by the Highwaymen, and the song is Highwayman. I think it starts off with Willie Nelson. Dear Lord, Willie Nelson. I was a highwayman. Along the coach roads I ride, with sword, you spiritual warriors you are, with sword and pistol by my side. Many a young maid lost her baubles to my trade. Many a soldier shed his lifeblood on my blade. I'm willing to die to live. The bastards hung me in the spring of 25, but I am very much still alive. I was a sailor, I was born upon the tide, and with the sea I did abide. I sailed a schooner round the Horn to Mexico. I went aloft to furl the mainsail in a blow. And when the yards broke off, they said that I got killed. But I am living still. I was a dam builder, the river deep and wide, where steel and water did collide. A place called Boulder on the wild Colorado. I slipped and fell into a wet concrete below. They buried me in that great tomb that knows no sound, but I am still around. I love it. It's gorgeous. I'll always be around. This was not planned. I will always be around and around and around and around and around and around. And the final verse to this beautiful masterpiece. I'll fly a starship. Now we're speaking present day. We talked about past lives. Now we're talking about now life and future lives. I'll fly a starship across the universe divide. And when I reach the other side, I'll find a place to rest my spirit if I can. Perhaps I may become a highwayman again. Or I may simply be a single drop of rain. But I will remain. And I'll be back again and again and again and again and again and again. Rena, thank you. I enjoyed that. Again and again and again and again. I thank you. You have been riding this roller coaster. Ferris wheel when it's peaceful. For people say the earth is 4.34 billion years old. That is not true at all. I have been told by masters that I was fortunate to be with. This is like 14 whatever, give or take, billion years old. And it's all about the expansion and the illumination of your soul. So let me ask you this. If Earth is whatever billions of years old that it is, and it's simply matter. Earth is matter. But you and we matter most. Seems like the refinement process from subtle to gross has to be a little more arduous, a little more precious. As precious as diamonds are, they take a very long time to have such brilliance and sheen and shine. to become forever thine. Reincarnation happens because simply of God's grace. Take all the time you need. You are coming home eventually when you simply choose to. I choose to. But here's the real kicker. We have the blessed, fortunate, grateful, graceful opportunity to not only return to God, universe, unified field, quantum mechanical field, source, creation, whatever we want to call it, without losing the body. Somebody stop me. This is the deal. And every creature, sentient or not, conscious or not, wants what you have, whether they know what you have or not. Diamonds, as my brother Ted says, takes a lot of pressure. Hence, reinforcing the idea that reincarnation is real. We have to go through lots of pressure to become that diamond. We have to diamond, as they might say in Jamaica, man. Going to take a short song break, going to come back, and we're going to get into part 3. First was the monologue. Second was walking on stage and telling a few jokes. And third is, I'm not going to joke around. You are loved beyond measure. It is a treasure and a pleasure for me to be with you. See you shortly. What song are we going to play? Tonight is Center of Light, Reincarnation, Life is a Highway. What song do I have without pissing people off? From my soon-to-be new album, I have not been recording for about 4 months now. Whatever reasons. So this may take about a year. It describes the process of illumination. There's no frivolousness that can happen ever in the kingdom of God. There's no cancer in the kingdom of God. So we cannot be allowed in, which we are always allowed in, but we can't go in there with nonsense. So it becomes the dance, the sacred dance of Kali, troublemaker, if you will. The one that challenges her husband, Shiva. So it's this dance between give and receive, reap and sow, give back, receive back, abundance and or lack. So this is not really a song from a new album, it's more of a movement. And I think I'm going to actually start the album off with this piece. Peace. See you shortly. Welcome back to Center of Light. Round and around and around we go. Where it stops, only you can know. It's good to see you tonight at Center of Light, Reincarnation. And for many of us, this guy I'm most concerned with. I am concerned for you as well, if that's what you choose. I'm done. I'm getting off the wheel. The karmic rat wheel of insanity. But you can bet I'm all about some humanity to be planted on this earth, to experience this life as long as I can, to have all the juicy, delicious fun that I can possibly muster. Tonight is Center of Light Reincarnation. Life is a highway. It's an endless highway. Sort of like the German Autobahn. People driving like fools as you think you are the one that is cools in your car as you're driving down life's highway towards your destination, be it your job, your lover's house, 3 a.m, whatever it is you're doing. It's all about moving forward. Everything we do, we move forward. Well, sometimes you have to go to the grocery store and back out of your parking space, but it's all about moving forward. And if we ever move backwards, it's very incrementally small. And we are in such a rat race that we want all of it to go as fast as we possibly can. And we overlook and miss all the beauty that is the jewels along the roadside. And it causes trouble. It causes rapids and turmoil in our life. And God says, you had a great life. I love it. I'll see you in another 100 years. Over and over and over. Incrementally, we expand. You see, the universe is not in a hurry. A hurried universe is a very unstable one. Let me say that again. For me, I just vesseled that. Congratulations, Keith. A hurried universe is a very unstable one. One of the greatest lessons I've learned when I was in India seeing Satya Sai Baba, God on Earth, left in 2011, Easter morning, go figure, was patience. I would sit in the beating hot sun for hours, beating hot sun of India for hours, for a chance to see God as close as my ego could possibly imagine that I hope he's this close to me today. As if that really matters at all. Sometimes it does matter, because it shows our intention to want to move into the cosmic field of science so far that we lose all science that we know. And most of the science that we know has to do with compliance. I'm sure you know. But when we let go all of those mundane visions of how we think things are, not only does it lighten the load, it shortens the road. Life is a highway until you take the off-ramp. I'm going to stop in Memphis. Since my birth in South Louisiana, 1963, to being in Memphis from 1988 to now. So it took a couple of off-ramps. And I'm getting off. And I'm ramping up. Are you ramping up? Are you championing in to get off this wheel that will forever spin as long as you let it? From Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, my most recent release, you can use the link in this forum to jump seat to Amazon to purchase my bestseller. Second one, I'm grateful, Lord. Thank you. As well as leave me a review. Please do. Here we go. From my dialogue between 1996 and let's say 98. Spirit says, what you have not yet realized, Keith, is that your fear does not protect you. What it does is complicate the very scenarios you're efforting to simplify. You think that being afraid keeps you out of harm's way in the crisis, but what it does is throw you directly into its path where you must repeat the lesson in this life or however long it takes, no matter how long it takes. And so I asked the question, so tell me, is reincarnation real? And if it is Is fear the reason I've had to do it so many times? Spirit responds, yes, according to universal law, all actions spawn from a fearful place. Even just simply being unconscious, it is definitely rooted in fear. Ignorance. Fear. Three sides of one coin. All actions spawned from a fearful place must come back around for a review. To get to a space of absolute clarity so that the light of God can move through us and pulsate our heart and resolution. If you do not clear your present self of your past problems, you will be reborn again and again until you resolve them. The thing I must tell you about reincarnation, the thing I must tell you is that reincarnation both does and does not exist. When scripture speaks of the beginning and the end, it is to accommodate your current frame of reference. Its concepts have to be conveyed in this way because at this point, this was years ago, now we're starting to get into the holiness. Holy is derived from the word whole. Now that we're getting into the wholeness, when scripture speaks of the beginning and the end, it is to accommodate your current frame of reference. Its concepts have to be conveyed in this way because at this point, all those years ago, you are only mindful of a linear timeline and cannot easily conceive of eternity. And I respond by saying, yep, that's a tough one, all right. Well, let's try it now, Keith, for a few moments and meditate on eternity. When you are ready, open your eyes. So basically, Carla says fear is conceit. Love cannot live with conceit. Hello, Rebecca. My brother Dave says, yes, you cannot fear and love at the same time. David also says a hurried world leads to chaos. So let's try it now. We're going to have an expansion that happens. At least I will. I'm good at what I do. I know how to play a guitar. I know how to drink water. You know how to drink water. So let's move into drinking life water. Close your eyes. Take 3 beautiful breaths. Think about your children in the first breath, your children and your maker, creator, in the second breath, and you who are the embodiment of all that which is most precious to you on the third breath. Keep your eyes closed as you continue to breathe as a catalyst to launch you into the divine fire. Just breathe at whatever pace you choose. And as you do that, begin to contemplate the idea of eternity. Hunker in, meditate, appreciate, try to bring up eternity. You get some ideas coming through. I get it. Right? Stay in meditation, keep breathing, keep trying, if you will, to use a word. I'm working on eternity. Well, in that moment, that's exactly what you're doing. You're working on eternity. But keep trying. Now, what I want you to do is bring in something very simple. Stay in the meditation, keep breathing, as you're trying to encapsulate, grasp as much as you possibly can eternity. Insert this image as you keep doing what you're doing. A picture of your loved one, a child, whatever you feel that you want to use as a representation of a fixed focal point. And you begin to massage that point. It's a picture of my father or my mother or my loved one or my child, or something that I love doing. And you in there, spiritually masturbating. And I use that word on purpose. And if you choose to get butt hurt, then you're not hearing my heart and or understanding the reason I use that word in the first place. You massage it. You touch it. You grope it. You be with that thing that you love the most out of eternity. And that it has your immediate attention. And you focus on that thing that you love. Stay focused on that thing that you love, using your mind. Now you use your heart and you step back, looking at your mind from your third eye point of view. My mind is engaged in this thing that I am calling beautiful. And as you step back, because of contrast, now you can grasp eternity a lot easier. Can you not? So by focusing on a something, in contrast, when you step back, you can truly begin to take in nothing, everything. Open your eyes. You are blessed. And I say, okay, I am done. And Spirit says, tell me, dear one, how many souls do you think there are? Take your time before you answer, Keith. Think about what you just experienced during your meditation. And I say, there's only one, but it has many facets. Hence the meaning of Yanava. Continuing on. Yes, and in eternity, those many facets or faces. Yes, in eternity, those many facets or faces of the one universal soul live all at once. So really, all there is you, God. But your consciousness must flip-flop around and around and around and through the time-space continuum until you remember that. Keith, you have lived many lives only to find yourself here now. Although you have lived in many different forms, none of them is what you actually are. For you are the spirit that has lived, lives, and will live forever. And I asked the question, what have I done that has landed me so many lives? In most of your incarnations, you have chosen the world of the external and the material over that of the spiritual, thus guaranteeing the repetition of your births and deaths. But if you want to live eternally where there are no more births and deaths, just life everlasting, you have to replace your fear with love. Once you get to that level, your consciousness will no longer be interrupted and the cycle will no longer perpetuate. But as of now, you are only the potential of what you can become. And I say, that's a lot to get. And Spirit responds, yes, it is, my friend. But I find I must often play with your words to help you understand what I'm conveying, and most especially to enable you to grasp some inkling of the wholeness that I am. That was the purpose of that exercise that I didn't know this was coming about. Spirit continues, look at the word external, E-X-T-E-R-N-A-L. Notice its similarity to the word eternal. Observe that there is just one difference. The X in the word external crosses out and interrupts the flow of the word eternal. This is exactly what happens to your consciousness when you choose to live in external mode. You cross out all of your chances for eternity. And so the current of your life, this was unplanned, I swear to you. Life is a highway. I want to ride it all night long. I am in such a level of bliss right now. I'm getting giddy. And so the current of your life will go until you are able to live in unbroken flow. If you're honestly seeking union with me, you must hold steadfastly to your intentions and be ever vigilant. When you achieve this life mode, then your next death cycle will be a divine birth. And I ask, is that what it means to be reborn? Not quite, Keith. Let me be perfectly clear. Wow. Birth's intentions is to not be born again, and death's intentions is to never again die. The intentions of both are the same, to give you all every possible chance to consciously unify with all that is. Now, Whether you choose to go along with this program is entirely up to you. And I asked the question, so reincarnation awakens the divine within us so that one day we can anchor it on the earth plane. And Spirit says, yes, beloved. All this time you have been playing God's game of life and you do not even realize it. And then I ask, but why can't we all know from the start that it's just a game? Because if you knew you would always be the winner, you would never play the game. And the game, after all, is the soul, S-O-L-E, soul, S-O-U-L, reason for your life. So just play for the sake of playing. Only when you do that can you advance to the next level. Ted says, Keith, you crack me up. We have to play the game fairly. We can be pissed off at Fauci. We can be grouchy. Whatever it is, the dynamic that's happening in the world. If we want to get off the karmic wheel, even of repeating what we did last year, I just want to be better. I want to be noble. I want to become a better human being. Around and around and around. The same reality will abound all around us. We will go. Reincarnation and understanding and integrating the truth of it is what, or at least one component, that will create spiritual liberation. Does anyone in here now or in the future that hears these words believe that spiritual liberation is possible? Be it you're a follower of Christ, Buddha, Krishna, all of it or none of it. Do you ascribe to such an idea that one can lift themselves to a level of liberation? Getting pinned into a corner here. And there's no way out. The only way out is in. And inward is eternal. So, everything is about death and life eternally until there is no more death. What is that death? Ignorance. When we become illumined to the fact that life, when we escape, when we realize that life, so we deem it to be, is we live, we die. You escape that wheel, you've ratcheted up. You ratchet up that you are not the same person you were yesterday, nor were you the same person you were an hour or even a minute ago. You're not. A minute ago, you have heard new information from me or your family. And because of such dynamic and energy moving around, everything is constantly churning, burning, churning, and yearning within itself for infinite spiritual expansion. Are you not one that wants to live in the house of many mansions? Don't you always want more? And I don't mean out of ego and greed and all selfishness. That's not what I'm asking. I am igniting. Don't you want more than what you have in the form of a state of being inside of yourself? Well, guess what? That fire is eternal. And no matter how much you can possibly fucking want, there's always more. If you think there's something more, no matter how far you are into your score and on the peaceful shore that you think you are walking on, there's always more. That is God. That is you without any facade, without the even or the odd, because completing the cycle means I am not good or bad. I am. So to get off the infinite karmic wheel of I think to I am, we have to eject block all the spam email, the I mail. It's about me. It's I. It's about, now it becomes the we mail. Reincarnation. You don't think reincarnation is real? Let me offer you this. You remember that thing you forgot that you did? And it comes back to kiss you in your karmic face? Even in this lifetime. It's reincarnation. You're reincarnating and bringing to you that which you have incarnated, an energy, spell, incantation, wish, unconsciously or not. It comes back to say, hey baby, you remember me? A part of you has reincarnated into a form. And formally it comes to you. The task or the trick is to get the aha, the shtick, that the joke is on you. And then the new you, through the birth and death cycle, mostly the death cycle, becomes a divine birth even before you leave this earth. What is that worth to you? I'm tired. In a good way. I've given up. I've given up in a good way. I am excited. I am delighted. All these wonderful rhymes and ways we can play with words, and all of those words are different incarnations that take you to different stations within yourself of feeling. How are you feeling? Are you ready to complete the cycle? Every 26,000 give or take years. My dears, I am tired, but I am wired for the new. Are you? Reincarnation. You have died many times. You have lived many times in this one lifetime. Some of my past reincarnations, one, for those who have been following me for years, know that I am John. Another reincarnation, past life, is I was a Japanese kamikaze pilot in World War II. Everything about me on my arms and tattoos, it's all kanji, Japanese. I love martial arts, I've been doing it for years. Chinese food, Japanese food, Oriental architecture, the culture. I went to Hawaii in 1998. 1992. I moved here in 1988. And I went to the Arizona Memorial. I had to sit down. And my bass player says, "What's the matter, Keith?" I said, "You don't want to know, trust me." So how do you find out what your possibility of your past incarnations are? Look at your present incarnation. What are your habits? What are your loves? What are your feelings? What are your dislikes? What is your culture now? Do you have any birthmarks? These are all ways, hints, tells, to help point you to more of your multidimensional self. But here's the real kicker. There is no such thing as past life. There is no such thing as you going to die and or future life. Because one, you can never die. You're eternal. And two, there's no such thing as a future. Because when you do die in the future and go back to the eternal, there is no future because you're back into the now moment, which is the presence of God. You've been doing this a long time, cowboy. Just a simple recognition of this repetition will help bring to a culmination of you in the spirit. Do you hear it? The call. One call, that's all. You are a multifaceted, multidimensional human, divine being. Your past lives are happening now. Your future possibilities are happening now. How can future possibilities happen now when it's not the future? Because in this moment, the now moment, you can repeat your past by doing something stupid, unconscious, and or silly, which is called karma and reincarnation. Or you can open this up to a level of elevation. And in such consciousness, everything is possible. So all of these possible futures are now in this moment yours, are they not? Right now, would you not agree that you can choose to go water skiing, skinny dipping, eat a pizza, make love, do something stupid, go create a violation, break a law? So in this now moment are all your future incarnations, are they not? How can you argue with that? Shit, I get off the pot. I have a multifaceted, multidimensional plethora of infinite choices. And just because you choose one doesn't mean you don't choose the other, because along with the one comes a little bit of all of them, because you are such a person that has your desires, and you will always take with you a little bit of everything you want, no matter what is the dominant path. Bliss or wrath. Be a bum or take a bath. Every moment you are being reborn. You are not the same breath you took a second ago. What have you been in your past life? It's not about being accurate. It's about having fun. And having fun opens the door to laughter, to joy, to bliss, which are the pronouns of what we call God. Open that fucking door, you sexy, beautiful human being. Walk into the beautiful possibility of amalgamating everything that you think is real to everything that you do have no idea is real at all. Incarnate, ingest into the game of you. If you're interested in reincarnation, there are many teachers that will validate you. YouTube, your favorite deity, whatever. It's real. So what does this presentation serve me other than the entertainment of hanging out with Keith? Dive into yourself. You will find such great relief as you see the joy in my face. My beautiful sister Carla says, we've been saints and sinners. What was it Deepak Chopra says? Sinners have a future and saints have a past. I love you. Love yourself at last. So what is God? God is the final step off the incarnation wheel of karma. I'm done. And to the eternal wheel of dharma. I can just sit here in silence and hang out with you, but I'm going to let you go. Don't forget me. I will never forget you. You have been riding this rodeo a long time, cowboy, cowgirl, ma'am. The wheel of karma for many people, 26, give or take, 1,000 years. The door is opening. The same door that will take you to hell, to heaven, is the same door that will take you to hell. Where are you in this reality? As you sit a spell, because you have no choice but to sit, the higher ups say, sit down and be quiet. So I suggest you listen to the higher ups. Check it out. Because if everything is a teacher of God and they're just different incarnations of ourselves, though we don't like it so much, and they're saying, sit down, shut up, and be quiet, then maybe God, through the facets and the incarnations of these beings, are saying, sit down, shut up, and be quiet. So since COVID, for a long time, I've been sitting down, shutting up, and being the fuck quiet. And I've learned a lot. Try it. Good night, Carla. I love you. Reincarnation. We're in this cycle. In each life, we move up into where there actually is really no more movement. In the highest frequency, which is stillness. Be still and know that I am your Lord, thy God, my God. Sit in the stillness of yourself. you will come to completion with your incarnations. There are people in prison, and I've learned this many years ago, who've learned spirituality. You can't go anywhere. You got to sit down, shut up, and be quiet in a jail cell, prison, mental slavery, who've killed people, who have been known to seek the level of a master, even to forgive and deplete and dissipate their karmic cycle. One, they forgave themselves, to learn how to forgive the other, and other, and other. You see, the power is greater than we can even possibly imagine. And it's that very power that allows you to breathe breath after breath, life after life, death after death. Beyond those opposites or the wholeness that you just heard of what I said to you. And I say to you, I love you.